Hello guys, welcome to another video on this daily algorithm series. In this video, I'm going to solve the problem majority element. First of all, it is important that we understand the problem we want to solve. That is why we are going to read the context and make sure we understand the problem. So it says, suppose we are given an array of numbers like the following, which is this. Could you find majority elements? A majority is defined as the greater part or more than half of the total. It is a subset of a set consisting of more than half of the set element. Okay, so let us assume that the array length is always at least 1. So this is telling us that the array is not going to be empty, and that there is always a majority element. Okay, this is also telling us that there is always going to be a majority element. Okay, so if we look at this example they've given us here, this one say it has majority element. Yes, you can see we have 4, so 4 is the majority element. Okay, if we look at the second example here, this one says no majority element. Okay, which is correct. So this is 2 and this is 2. So this is 4 and this is 4. So there is no majority element. In such a case, I think we'll have to return none. Okay, let us look at this one. It says no majority element. Okay, let us look at it. We have 4, we have 4, we have 4. So we have 4 in 4 places. Then we have 2 in 1 places, 2 and 3. So we have 2 in 3 places and we have 1 in 2 places. So I think they are wrong here. We have majority element. In fact, this example is kind of confusing because they've already assumed here that where is it again? They've already assumed here that yes, that there is always a majority element. Okay, however, we're going to solve the problem in such a way that if there is no majority element, we should return none. All right, guys, so let us go to the VS Code. So I'm going to copy everything and I'm going to create a file. I'm going to call this majority elements. Okay, so let me paste this and create some space for unit testing. Okay, so before I move forward, so we need to look at this, the constraint. So it says the length of the array is less than 100,000, is less than or equal to 100,000. So the array will always contain integer value between these two. So the expected time complexity is O of n, which is the linear time, and the space complexity is O of n. So let us go to this solution. So to solve this, I'm going to use the frequency counter approach. So I want to check, like if you look at this, I want to check which number has the highest frequency. Okay, so what's the frequency of 4? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 has the frequency of 4. What's the frequency of 2? 1, 2, 3. So the frequency of 2 is 3. Okay, and the frequency of 4 is 4. Okay, so if we look at another number here, we have 1 and 1. So this one has a frequency of 2. So in such a case, I'm going to return this number. So 4 is the one that has the highest frequency. Okay, guys, so let us go to the solution. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to create a store. So this store is going to be a dictionary, right? So by default, it's going to be empty, right? So I want to set my top frequency. Okay, so my top frequency is going to be 0. So the next thing I will be doing is I'm going to loop through every number and check if that item already exists in my store. I'm going to increment the value. If it does not, then I'm going to set the value to 1. which is the first item. Okay, so what I'm going to do is for every norm in norms, which is a given array, so I'm going to call if my store, right, or get key. Let me see the get. Okay, so I'm going to be using the number as a key, right? So if this is not equal to none, right, so it means I already have this item in my store. So what I'm going to do is the store, I'm passing the key, right, the key, and increment that value by 1. Otherwise, then I'm going to set the store of that key, which is the norm. I'm going to set it equal to 1. So this is going to give me the frequency of every value in the given array. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to check which item has the highest frequency. Okay, so let me write a comment. So check item with highest frequency. Okay, so I want to check the item with the highest frequency. So what I'm going to do is to loop through the item in my store. So I'm going to look for every key that I have in my store. Okay, so I need to get the value. Okay, so I'm going to set the value is equal to the store of the key. Okay, so I'm going to pass in the key. So this is going to give me the value. Okay, note the value is the frequency. Okay, I'm going to debug that at the end of this video so that we can see. So what I want to do is if the value, which is the frequency, is greater than my top frequency, which is 0, right, this one. So if it's greater than my top frequency, okay, so then my top frequency will be the value. Okay, so my top frequency will not be the value because this is the highest I have seen so far. Okay, then I need another variable which I'm going to return. Okay, let me create that here. So I'm going to create this variable result key. By default it should be none. Okay, so this is going to take care of the situation whereby there is no number with high frequency. We're having equal numbers in the array. So in fact, this is what I'm going to return, right? So let me even give space here. So now I also want to set my result frequency to the key. Okay, I want to set it to the key. So if this is the highest I've found, then I am going to return this. Okay, so I'm going to return this. Okay, so let me just look at it again. Okay, I believe this is going to work. So let me save and run. I'm going to save and run this code. Okay, yes, excellent. Let me scroll up. Okay, if I scroll up, you can see we passed the first test, we passed the second test, and we passed the third test. So this is successful. So I'm going to copy and go back to the platform. Then I'm going to paste what I've written. I'm going to run the code. Excellent. So we passed the test. Okay, good. So let us go back to VS Code and let us debug what is going on here. First of all, I need to put in my breakpoint. So I'm going to put in my breakpoint here where I'm putting the store. Then I'm going to run this in debug mode. Okay, so that I'll explain exactly what's going on. Okay, so I'm running this in debug mode, and okay, we can see these are the given numbers. So they gave us these numbers, and we want to pick out the number with the highest frequency. Okay, so I'm gonna step over. Okay, no, I'm gonna step in. So I'm going to step in. You can see I've created my store. I've created my result key, which is none, with my top frequency, which is 0. So this is where things start to get interesting. This is where we're going to make use of the store, which is the frequency counter. So now, since this item, which is the first item, does not exist, which is 1, it does not exist in my store, I'm going to add that number and set the key as 1. Okay, you can see that here. Yes, you can see that here. You can see the key is 1. So next, we loop again and we add the second item. You can see the second item in the array is 4. We're going to add that to the list. Okay, let me scroll down. In fact, let us watch the store here. Okay, so next I am going to step into it again. So you can see we now have 4, which is the key, and the value is 1. So 4 is appearing only one time so far. Okay, let us continue. Let us continue. You can see we've added 2. 2 has appeared only once, and we've gotten 4 2 times. Okay, and we've gotten 4 3 times. Okay, now we have, okay, let me see, let me just go through the loop to the end. Okay, now good. So if you look at the frequency counter, right, which is here, yes, if you look at the frequency counter, so we have 1 appeared only 1, right? So let me remove this. Okay, so we have 1 with a frequency of 1, we have 4 with a frequency of 4, and we have 2 with a frequency of 1, we have 3 with a frequency of 1. So the highest frequency is 4. So this is what we want to return since we've gotten the highest frequency. Okay, so in this case, this is where we are actually looping through the value, right? So when we loop through those values, and when we loop through those values, so it gives us, right, the top key. Okay, it gives us the top key, and the top key is what? 4. That is where we return the result key. Okay, you can see the result key is 4. So since we are looping and we've not found any value that's actually greater than 4, so it means 4 is our final answer. So alright guys, thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time of coming to my YouTube channel, please ensure you like this video, ensure you subscribe, because I'm going to cover a whole lot of this. Thank you very much. I'll see you in another video. So guys, before we go, I almost forgot about the time and space complexity. So the time complexity for this, let me put this here. So the time complexity for this, we are looping through every item in the array. Okay, we are looping through every item in the store. So because of this is O of n and this is O of n. So if we remove constant, we're going to have the big O of n time. Then we have a store here which stores some elements, right? In fact, it stores all the elements. So for that, this is the big O of n space. Okay, all right guys, so this is the time and space complexity for this. Thank you.